I now call the Iberia Parish Council meeting to order for April 27, 2022. The current time now is 6:02. I have the prayer led by Councilman Olivier and the pledge led by Councilman Michael Landry. Councilman Olivier.
In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, guide us tonight to do your good work. We ask you to support our community throughout the year. Protect us from the oncoming hurricane seasons as well. And we ask that the decision we make tonight is in your name and the best interest of the parish. We pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Father, Son.
Councilman Landry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Tommy Pollard.
Here.
Michael Landry.
Here.
Marcus Broussard.
Here.
Lloyd Brown.
Here.
Warren Gosherson.
Here.
Natalie Broussard.
Here.
Paul Landry.
Here.
James Strongham.
Here.
Scott Rossiner.
Here.
Eugene Olivier.
Here.
Brian Napier. Lady Fountainette Brown. Marty Strongham.
Here.
Chad Mocherin.
We have 12 members in a quorum. Moving on to public comments. I'll need a motion to go into public comments. I have a motion by Councilman Pollard, second by Councilman Brown. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, hear no oppositions, the ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. We're now into public comments. Number one, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on non-agenda items.
We did receive one from Mr. Richard Phillips. Mr. Phillips, if you could step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record, sir. Welcome.
My name is Richard Phillips, 420 East Main Street. And before I get to the fact that I'm talking about the non-smoking ordinance, I think we should remember that one of my neighbors, Dracus Burke, passed away. I don't know if you read the obituary, but he was a rather prominent person in this city. He actually lived through both pandemics. He was 102. So anyway, so much for Dracus. I lost, and other people sitting here were on the wrong side of an ordinance that was passed by the city about banning smoking. I try to make the point, it wasn't smoking, it was the liberties of people that were being stomped on. And I personally feel you can take your own dictionary and find out what the word liberty means. But we have a constitution. In the preamble, it talks about we want our liberties. That's why we formed the country. Everything we sing about, of thee I sing, sweet land of liberty, I think that the people who pass laws have limits themselves. And before this council addresses the same situation for the land outside of the city in Iberia Parish, I think it would behoove them to understand what the real issue is. It isn't smoking, it's stepping on certain people's liberties. Nobody's forcing people into bars where there are people allowed to be smoking. Nobody's forcing anybody to work there. And there were some excellent arguments that I think were totally ignored by the people who had made their mind up before that meeting as to which way they were going to vote. I came into that argument late, and I just want to employ or ask you to consider all of the sides of this particular issue, because it may come up in the land that is not controlled by the city. Dracus Burke was a person who was in the military and also served at the 16th Judicial. The military people go to war for the United States. They represent the people in the United States so that the folks at home can enjoy their liberties.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Thank you for being here. We do also have Mr. Pat Corline representing the Sugarina.
Good evening. My name is Pat Carline. I'm the chairman of the commission at the arena. We have recently been working on getting the arena better than it was. We've just received $400,000 grant, and with that, we've purchased a brand new tractor. We're getting ready to build a new announcement stand that's going to be approximately 30 feet long and 11 feet wide. It's going to be enclosed, air conditioning, so that way the people that work in there during the things that happen at the arena will be comfortable, okay? I went to a SB meeting yesterday in Baton Rouge. I know a lot of y'all know about the sports betting, okay? They formed a new equine committee, which is looking to try to get 2.6%, 2.5% of the monies collected pursuant to the section credited to the Equine Promotion and Research Program. Okay, we were asked to make a proposal. I sent in a proposal to get some things done at the arena that we weren't able to do with this $400,000 by, let's say, extending the arena toward the Riviera Park. We want to do a lot more fencing. We want to really make the building presentable. So we put in a $4.6 million proposal. This money is to go to arenas around the state, and it will allow us to get some of that money. It's $250 million available out there for us, but it has to go through the Senate first. It did the first hurdle. Now it's got to go to the finance committee, and then go to the Senate, and then go over and jump over to the House. So we're on top of it. We'll be traveling to Baton Rouge a lot to try to get our vote in here. And from what we had on yesterday, people really want these arenas fixed up throughout the state, including us. So that's one big thing that we're working on. I'd like to see more of y'all out there, if y'all would, to come see just exactly what goes on at the arena and what we've done in the arena. We have done a lot of work, and we're getting ready to paint it. We're getting ready to change the plumbing in the bathroom. We're getting ready to change the plumbing in the back. It's just a lot of things going on, and we're hoping, if I'm not mistaken, that the architect will be getting with the contractor and will be working and starting the work hopefully next week. And we'll hopefully get the majority of the stuff done by the Sugarcane Festival. So something that we're really pushing on and so forth. And as you know, this is volunteer. I don't get paid for any of this. And I've been I'm the chairman for 2 years now. I know I have 2 more years on the board, but I'm just trying to do what's right for the parish. The people have seen the changes, they like the changes, and they want to see more people coming. I mean, we've got people coming from Mississippi, Texas, for all these different events that we're having. Y'all just need to come out and see and know what we're doing. And I like to see your faces more often if possible out there, so that way at least you see what we're doing. It's a lot of work, and the commission's doing a lot of work to get things done out there. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention so that you'd know exactly what it is that we're doing.
Good. Members, are there any questions for Mr. Corline? We do have one. Councilman Olivier on the question.
Yeah, thank you for the effort you're putting into that. You have to chase those state dollars to get something, so.
Right, and that's a grant that we're working on that's going to be coming out. But I know it's going to be probably about a year, but I mean, I'm going to hold out and hopefully the best that, and I talked to Mr. I think it's Stearns. We talked in the Capitol yesterday also, and he's really up there for it, and a lot of the senators are up there for it. So we really have a lot of pull right now.
Okay.
Mike Strain, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, I'm in Baton Rouge quite often too, so if I can assist you in any way, please get in touch with me.
All right, I
Okay?
will.
All right, thank you.
The gentleman yields back. Anyone else on question for Mr. Corline?
I can, if I can.
The parish president is recognized.
First of all, Mike, you and your board members, y'all doing a fantastic job. Y'all we're really doing a lot. I was out there week before last, I guess, when they had the big, oh Lord, I can't tell you how many people had it there a couple of weeks back. And y'all doing a fantastic job. What Pat is talking about right now, with this money that potentially we can get from the state of Louisiana, that's prime time stuff, because when he got back, I think it was yesterday you called me? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday evening.
Yeah, so I immediately made a phone call to some of our delegation to tell them what Pat told me, since I was made aware of it, and they're going to push. They're going to push for it. And I was talking earlier this evening with Chad and Marty and Warren about the importance of everyone understanding what it is that we're trying to do. When you're going after these dollars, everyone really needs to be on the same page, because if we're not on the same page, I think we have a guy that's going to talk to you a little bit later by the name of Mike Tarantino that's going to tell you how all these dollars come, because they don't just throw dollars out. They really work and figure out how much money is going to go to each one of these parishes, and we need to be on the same page with every department or every agency moving forward. And I appreciate all the work you're doing, and y'all are doing a good job. And that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Corlin, did you want to finish?
No, that's it. I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to make you all aware of what's going on, because a lot of you probably didn't know what was going on, and I think you need to be aware of what's going on, so that way, you can, once they start construction and all that, you'll be able to come out and see exactly what's being done. We're just going to get a whole brand new facelift, and we have a sponsor, the tractor company that's over there off of Admiral Doyle. They're doing a lot of support for us. We've got them in and they want to do a lot of things for the arena. So we're making progress. It's hard to, like you said, it's hard to get the money and to find the money, but we're looking and we're trying. So,
Mr. Corlin, we do
Yes.
have a question from Councilman Landry. It's recognized.
So the 250 that they're projecting, that's one time, or would this be a percentage that would
that
go?
has not, they didn't say. Like I said, they're in the planning stages right now, and once it gets past the Senate and goes to the House, then I'm going to question some more,
Okay.
and so forth. I have meetings with people in the House of Representatives, once it goes over there. So we're hoping that, it'll go through pretty quick, but
Yeah.
the money's there. They said it's available, and so we're pushing very, very hard.
Good job, Pat.
Thank you.
Councilman Landry yields back, Parish President in recognition.
And yes, and Pat, y'all did get the extension from June.
Correct. Yes, we did. I got saying that we can just continue doing our work. That we do have an
Right.
extension.
What happened, Mr. Chairman, is the $400,000+ that he's talking about was supposed to be spent, I think, by June.
By June
Of this year. And we have to keep in mind, like he mentioned earlier, these are all volunteers. So there's a lot of things that they don't quite know when you're trying to spend these dollars, because in government things just change so often, including when you may be an employee or an employer or an employee. So they got this extension to finish the project that they're doing, and they're doing a fantastic. I'm telling you, y'all doing very good. I'm very satisfied. Y'all looking very good. So just wanted to tell you that the extension is there, even though the money is not going to be spent by June like you probably knew or thought it should be. They have an extension.
Good. Hearing no other questions, Mr. Corlin, thank you for what you do, and thank you for being here, sir. We did not receive any other requests for non-agenda items. Madam Clerk, item A.
Mr. Dean and Ms. Catherine Watney to address the council to announce May as Mental Health Month and the Bayou Side Run for Mental Health to be held on May 7th, 2022.
Sure.
Good
State
evening.
your
Thank
name.
you all for allowing us to comment on Mental Health Month. I'm sure you're used to us being here, and you're probably thinking, well, there's Dean and Catherine, it must be May. But we're a little early. We're a couple of weeks early because we have a couple of things to tell you about. And there'll be a proclamation a little later making May Mental Health Month in Iberia Parish. But one of the things we want to tell you about is we're here early because of the Bayou Side Run. This is a run. This is the second year we do this. We've put this on with Heart for Iberia, and Trip right here is one of the organizers of Heart for Iberia that came to us, and we are collaborating on this run. We have some other supporters here tonight, Mr. Tony and Ms. Brandy Roberts. They've joined up with us because of the experience they had in the run last year. And if you want to hear more about that, Ms. Brandy is on the Daily Iberian Facebook page. She has a very informative video as to why this race is important. And so the Bayou Side Run is more of an event than a race. We're going to have the race, and we're going to have a run. We're going to have a couple of food trucks. We're going to have a Cajun band. We're going to have some exhibitors that are going to tell you about health and mental health. And last year we had, and we expect this year, somewhere around 300 people. So you don't have to run or walk to come. You can come and enjoy the experience and support these people, these runners, and also support the people who are running in memory of someone. That has been a very important feature of this race. So the race raises mental awareness, and it gives people a fun time and a time to support one another. Hence, the name Bayou Side, which also means by your side when it counts. We'll trip that little tagline. And so that's what's coming up. It's May 7th. Starts at 8 o'clock, and it'll probably go most of the morning. There'll be awards. So we invite the citizens and invite you all to come out. Several of the members here are supporting us in that endeavor as well. Catherine is going to talk about what we've been using the money for these races that we earned from the race.
Yes, and before that, I want to tell you we have some strong supporters among you parish council members for what we're doing for the race and for the advocating of good mental health. But in January, our group, our initiative, got together with Iberia Parish School Board in a proclamation that addressed the importance of good mental health in schools for the students and the teachers. And from that, we have partnered with the Iberia Parish School Board Wellbeing Team to put on some programs for the teachers to educate them more in the area of mental health. Our first program was in March, and that was with Cindy Hayes, who's a licensed counselor, and she did a program for the teachers concerning their own self-care and stress management. And tomorrow night we'll have another program, and both of these have been at the Slyman Center. They are free of charge. They are catered by Preservation. We have door prizes. We want to make it a good experience for them. But tomorrow night we will also have a program on addressing students' challenging behaviors post-pandemic. And that will be presented by Phyllis Babineau, who is also a licensed counselor. And we are expecting 78 to 100, and we feel that they will be benefiting from these programs. And we do have 2 teachers here with us tonight in that Trip Wright and Brandy Roberts are teachers at Johnston Hopkins. And so they can identify with the challenges that the teachers have these days. So thank you again for allowing us to be here. Thank you so much for your support over all these years. We do have flyers that we can give if anyone wants to put it up in their place of business. Just raise your hand and we'll leave that for you. Yeah, you can.
I do believe the parish president has a proclamation at this point.
Mr. Chairman, if I can, I'll read the proclamation, then I'll go up and give the proclamation to Dean and Ms. Catherine. And
Without
others.
objection.
Thank you so much. Proclamation, May is Mental Health Month. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans faces in life that challenge that impact mental health, especially during this pandemic that we just had, and whereas we all share the responsibility to promote mental health and support prevention and treatment efforts. Therefore, I, M. Larry Richard, do proclaim May 2022 as Mental Health Month in Iberia Parish. As the parish president of Iberia Parish, I also call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Iberia Parish to commit our parish to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible service for all people with mental health conditions. In witness whereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of this parish to be affixed this 27th day of April, 2022. Iberia Parish President, Mr. Dean, I would like to give this to you and everyone else. Especially Ms. Catherine. say Dean first, but. So thank all of you so very much. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And also thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Moving on to number 2, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on agenda
We
items.
did not receive any requests. I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Councilman Pollard, second by Councilman Rawson. Roll call members, those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hear no opposition, the ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to reports from finance and administrative actions. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Balance sheets for February 2022 on request.
Should have received that by email. Number 2, Madam Clerk.
Budget reports for February 2022 also on request.
Moving on to reports from parish or other governmental agencies. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mike Tarantino to provide an update on professional economic services provided to the parish. All is authorized by resolution number 2021-27.
If you can state your name and address for the record, sir.
Good evening, Mike Tarantino, President and CEO of the Iberian Industrial Development Foundation.
Welcome.
Happy to be with you this evening, as always. So happy to bring you a report. I'll be brief, but I'll certainly want to leave an opportunity for questions if you have any as we go through. A few economic indicators just to get us started. This is the monthly sales, monthly retail sales in Iberia Parish with confirmed numbers as of March 2022. Down a little bit from February of 2022, but up significantly from this time March of last year. A lot of these numbers can be seasonal, and so this is very normal, actually better than normal. We also got reports from the school board that the number, while we don't have a retail sales number for April, we do know that sales tax collection with the school board was up, I believe, 16.9%. So we do expect, if it's up 16.9%, we do expect it to be a significantly higher number for April. So things are strong in the parish from the retail sales perspective and continuing to get stronger. We're all going to be welcoming Aldi to New Iberia, in the next couple of weeks. So we'll have another contributor to the local economy and another great opportunity for folks to continue to shop local. This is the Iberia Parish monthly unemployment rate. As I've mentioned in the past, typically the unemployment rate ticks up a bit in January and again in June, and it did it. So in December, you're looking at 4.8%. It ticked up to about 5.4%, and now it's coming back down at about 5%. So the unemployment rate is strong here in Iberia Parish, and we continue to see numbers. There's still a lot of jobs available out there. A lot of employers looking for skilled labor, and we continue to look forward to seeing that number come down. But the trends are certainly going in the right direction. This is the Louisiana monthly drilling permits all over the board, generally. However, up from this time last year. Down from last month, but up from this time last year. In the oil and gas world these days, it's very unpredictable. You're going to see some better numbers here in a second in other aspects, but Louisiana monthly drilling permits just all over the board. So hard really to figure out where it's going to go, although it is generally in an upward trend. This is Louisiana monthly crude oil prices. Of course, this was the last published number, which was in February of 2022 at $94.11 a barrel. Today, spot price, I just checked it before we walked up, $101.80. So higher. It has been as high as $123 over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, continuing to trend higher. I think even when you take out all the geopolitical things that are happening around the world, it continues to be higher. When that's baked in, it continues to be higher anyway. So stronger and stronger crude oil prices. We're hearing more reports of Shell and other large oil and gas companies getting more and more Gulf of Mexico contracts, and that's certainly good news on the drilling and exploration front. The Louisiana monthly rig count is up as well. This is you saw that permit number earlier that was all over the board. This is the monthly rig count that results in those permits that are actually followed through on. And so continuing to be relatively strong. We always want to see that number higher, but it is trending up a bit, and we certainly hope that continues. This is the Louisiana monthly natural gas price. Of course, that's the February 2022 number. I just checked it before we walked in, $7.07 a unit. So natural gas up significantly. Not as high as February 2020. Well, actually, it's right at about February of 2021. That's actually a really good thing, because in February of 2021, that was a result of a winter storm. The $7.07 in natural gas now are obviously not due to that. So other economy and other energy factors, but good, strong natural gas prices. And of course, that means that more LNG is going to flow through this parish to the market, so strong there as well. Here's your Acadiana Regional Airport monthly operations. Mr. Mosanji and I had a long conversation about these numbers yesterday. Continuing to improve. April is going to be higher than the 3,800 monthly operations, so your airport operations continue to be strong. You need to take out September of 2021. That was during a hurricane relocation. But if you take out that particular outlier, the number of operations at Acadiana Regional Airport remains strong. Just wanted to show you a couple of pictures real quick of some of the things that we worked very closely with the parish president's office and with others during this month. We were approached to assist in doing some photography as part of ongoing conversations about Highway 90 improvements with the Secretary of DOTD, Mr. Sean Wilson. The parish president's office, I worked very closely with them. So this is a picture from my drone. I took one of the, they asked me to take various pictures of various intersections and hurricane access routes and other potential improvements along Highway 90. One of the pictures that we took was the carpool line at Cane River. So you can see this backs up significantly. And of course, all of these programs are looking to improve traffic flow as we do. Here's another shot of that same line. It's all about safety, and so we're taking pictures of that as well. Here's some other shots that we took at various parts. These were, various potholes, various patching that's done on state highways. The upper left-hand picture, as you can see, is right near Miguez Fuel, where the frontage road actually turns under the overpass. We want to see that frontage road connected, further down to continue to allow commerce to pass. So these were all visuals to let the Secretary of DOTD, Mr. Sean Wilson, know what kind of improvements we'd like to see and what kind of improvements the parish president's office and others would like to see to improve things for our citizens. These are some of the other pictures that we took as part of that exercise. This is a picture of the intersection of Highway 90 at Canal Street in Jeanerette. We want to, of course, we did this to be added to part of the application. And I think that may be the end. So that's the end. That's just some of the examples of some of the pictures that we took. We're happy to do that as well. So I want to stop here and answer any questions that y'all might have.
Members, are there any questions? I do believe Councilman Pollard on the question.
Mike, y'all
Yes,
doing
sir.
a beautiful job at on the base for the new project that y'all doing. But what about the road, Highway 90 from Highway 88 to 675? I mean, if you coming back from Coteau, that right-hand lane, it's just horrible. And I mean, we have the air base coming up, have roundabouts coming in between those two highways, and
I would certainly agree.
I have friends that does hotshot work from Homer here. They say we get in that left lane and we go from 88 all the way to Baldwin where the road is good. I mean, can you tell me anything about if we have any money for that, or we're gonna do an improvement on that?
Well, I can tell you the great question. And U.S. Highway 90, let me just say, U.S. Highway 90 is the main commercial corridor for the parish. It's where commerce comes in and out. You've seen some recent improvements to frontage roads. In many cases, the frontage roads are smoother than the highway themselves, right?
Yes, sir.
And so it is absolutely an important artery. I know that DOTD is doing some improvements at the Highway 88 intersection with roundabouts and things like that. You're going to see the parish president has been a big proponent of improvements at 675. I think it's that particular project is under the auspices of DOTD, and the parish president may have some updates there. But it is a big priority for our area.
Councilman Pollard, does that answer your question?
Yes, but Mr. Richard,
Okay, what's going on right there for council members? Of course, I-49 corridor, they're trying to connect the I-49 all the way from Lafayette to to Booty. That's a major part of what's taking place right now. It's a huge project, some $300 million, if I'm not mistaken, that they're talking about. So it's a large number. To answer your question, yes, that's being looked at right now by the Department of Transportation. This is something that that they're looking to do in the very, very near future. It's a huge project, but it's not only, the concentration won't only be from 88, of course, to 675. This is a connection. And I see Scott shaking his head, so he probably already heard about it. But this is a connection that's coming all the way from Lafayette to Booty. Big connection. So, but if you ever want anything, what I would like to do, if you request it, is get one from someone from the Department of Transportation come in and give you an update on that. This project, of course, the reason I can tell you a little bit about it because it runs through APC and the MPO. So it's a big discussion that's going on. There was a lot of controversy at one time with some parties about how they was going to do this and whether it was going to get the right of ways and when it was going to take place and a whole lot. But if y'all want, I can easily get someone to come here from the Department of Transportation.
Well,
and give
I
you-
would appreciate it if you would, because, I mean, we're doing a beautiful job
Yeah.
to upgrade the airport and everything, and the road just so rough on that end.
It's
I appreciate the question.
terrible. No problem.
Councilman Pollard yields back. Councilman Marty Trahan on the question.
At convention this year, I was in Sean's deal, and he definitely knows from Lafayette to Morgan City. They looking. I mean, I asked a question also, and they definitely looking at it.
Councilman Trahan yields back. Councilman Landry on the question.
To let you know, we got some other people helping us on that. Probably about 4 years ago, the MPO had a meeting over here somewhere, and they were asking us for things that we wanted done and stuff, and the different parishes were putting up. And the lady did tell us that St. Mary's request was have Highway 90 in Iberia Parish fixed. So,
I remember that. Big
Yeah.
request.
yeah, so we have St. Mary helping us too.
Thank you, Councilman. Appreciate it. Anyone else in question for Mr. Tarantino? Councilman Landry in question again?
I want to thank you. I know we've had some meetings lately. We're working on the natural gas, and it looks like something's going to come, so we'll be able to solve that. And we had some other meetings, so we understand what these site selectors are looking for and bringing us there. I know the Save Vermillion Parish, I know they give $375,000 to their economic development. Acadiana Parish gives about $489,000 to their economic, and the home at Thibodeau area gets $532,000 from their government for economic development. And St. Martinville gives $700,000 for their economic development. And I know you do a lot of good with our 190,000. So, I know you just don't have the funds to have the extra staff and the people there, but you're doing a great job, and hopefully we could get out of all this mess we're in. We could put some good funding behind y'all so we could be competitive with a lot of these other parishes.
Well, Councilman Landry, I certainly appreciate that, and I very much appreciate the partnership that I have with the Parish President's Office and with this council. I know that y'all are pro-economic development, want to see this parish grow. We're all on the same team together, and I appreciate those comments and look forward to continuing to work hard for you.
Councilman Landry, are you finished?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Landry yields back. Mr. Tarantino, did you want to close? or-
The only other thing I'd like to add is the Parish President mentioned earlier about capital outlay, so just a quick comment there. So very important for us to all to work together and be on the same page. When it gets to Baton Rouge, there's a lot of folks competing for a lot of dollars. This is hard competition. There are a lot of folks around the state that need those dollars, and so when you get into this competitive nature, we've got a great legislative delegation that's working hard for us, and it's just really good when everybody's on the same page and communicating together so we can support each other. So, I'm very optimistic about this particular legislative session. We'll see how it turns out, but I think good things are in store for Iberia Parish, and so great to hear it.
Mr.
And thank you.
Tarantino, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Moving on to Public Works reports. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Public Works Department report for closed work orders dated March 23rd through April 12th, 2022.
Members, you should have received that by email. Moving on to special business, there is none. Council member announcements, members? Anyone on council member announcements? Councilman Pollard.
Thank Dexter and his crew for their first big job of striping the roads. They was down Nelson Canal, had it closed pretty much of the day, and by time 3:05, they was back opening up and traffic could go back through. Thank you.
Councilman Pollard, I'm glad you said that. I received a couple of pictures, and the community is proud, and I'm proud of the guys in Public Works. Dexter, please tell your compadres we appreciate what you're doing there. Councilman Pollard yields back. Anyone else on announcements? Hearing none, moving on to Parish President announcements. Mr. Richard.
Yes, on April the 23rd, this past Saturday, we picked up a litter abatement. We picked up 128 bags of trash on Freeman Road and Melanson Road. I want to mention that the funds that you guys gave me for the part-time positions, the person that's going to come in and do purchasing and one is coming in to do to monitor the reports and help us out as the legislative assistant. We hired the legislative assistant person. She started on Monday, and the purchasing person should be starting this coming Monday. So it's a great thing, and we already got the one that's here. We got her completely bored up already, so that's a great thing for us. Going back on what Tommy just mentioned on Tuesday, I guess we started the striping on Nelson Canal, and it's going very well. We have several. Of course, you know, we only have 20 people really that works every day in Public Works. So what we had to do the striping, we had to take these people that's cutting grass and doing other things to go do striping. So we can't stripe too long because it's the perfect time to be cutting grass when the weather is looking good like this. So the next request you're gonna get or complaint you're gonna get is the grass is getting too long. So when you only have 20 people or so that's working daily in Public Works and you're trying to deal with 400 miles of roads and all of the drainage and all of everything else that goes along with managing Public Works, just understand, we're doing the roads right now. We're gonna probably finish, hopefully, that particular road on Friday. And the way we did the press release is that road is closed every day from 8 o'clock in the morning, I think, to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we do everything we can, and once we finish for that day, we go back and start the next day. And the reason we started on this particular road, of course, everyone knew that we was gonna start on Darnell. But Darnell have a lot of traffic. And we noticed when the guys were using the machines, or the machine, that there were things that they still needed to perfect. So we took this particular road and started on this road with no traffic, and I tell you, by the time they get to Darnell, they're gonna be ready. They're doing a very, very good job. Other than that, bulky waste pickup in Iberia Parish. Of course, we're at that time of year where you have stuff literally all over the parish. We tried to get on top of that earlier this year. In fact, myself and the chairman talked with Jamie and other members from Waste Connection, knowing what was getting ready to happen, and we're point on. Right now, we have Waste Connection have about 3 boom trucks in the area that's working. Extra trucks that's working. This past, I was going to say not only a boom truck, they got a rear loader too.
Yeah.
So it's 3 boom trucks and a rear loader. So this past weekend, they picked up 35 tons of debris. That's a lot of debris in one day in Iberia Parish. The same thing is planned for this coming weekend, but those trucks don't work just on weekends. They're working every day. We have a lot of debris in Iberia Parish that need to be picked up, and hopefully we can finish this and catch up very, very soon. Michael Broussard today had a meeting with Andy and also Waste Connection to get a few things squared away on our contract that we needed to get taken care of. I know you guys passed the deal for us to go ahead and accept that contract for an additional 5 years, but we had some things that needed to be addressed, and they were addressed today, so we should be signing that contract relatively soon. With that said, on Saturday coming, April the 30th, from 8:30 to 12 o'clock, we're having the Household Waste Day in the parking lot behind. Anyone that's have any type of waste, just get on our Iberia Parish website. You can see what's allowable and what's not. We're going to do it twice this year. We're going to do it in April, and we're also going to do it again in October. Mr. Chairman, that's it. I better stop so we can.
I do have a question for you, and I'm sure Public Works has gotten a pretty decent amount of requests after you started striping roads.
For Moore Street, right.
I'm getting the calls, how are we prioritizing this? Where are we moving? Are you able to?
What we wanted to do was try to get the high traffic roads that had, like Darnell Road. Darnell Road is a bad road. It need to be striped, and that's the road that I really wanted to start on first. I can tell you we have Troy Road, Darnell Road, Landry Road, several roads like that that we have on the schedule right now, big high traffic roads that need to be done. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not exactly sure if we're going to start Darnell Road next. If we feel confident enough to start it, that's the one we're going to go on. But of course, I'm going to talk to Dexter and his crew to find out what they think we should do next, even though that's the road I would like to go on. Right. We have to take safety into consideration. One thing we're going to do different when we do roads like Darnell roads, we're going to have the Sheriff Department or Louisiana State Police working those roads with us, because one thing I've found about doing any type of traffic things is that if you don't have blue lights, it's not going to work. You can have your yellow lights and your white and red lights all day long, but until you get some blue lights around there, people won't slow down. So I think Dexter is talking about doing Darnell Road next, but Mr. Chairman, I wouldn't want to commit to that right now.
Sure. And baby steps. We
We're going to get
progress.
there.
It's good to see
That's
those
that's the
lines.
one I want next. And not only, we talked about going from 182 to Highway 90, but Darnell Road needs striping all the way down Darnell Road, all the way toward, to the end of past Lydia. through
And at
Lydia.
some point, the state's gonna come in and do the ones that they have.
Yeah, the state,
prioritized.
we have the state's gonna do theirs, as well as we have the MPO or the APCs. We have several roads that we're gonna get striped as well. Yes, sir. If I can, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Yes, sir. North Side Road won't be, I hate to say it like this, but that's not gonna be a bad road for us to do, traffic-wise. We've been doing that every year before grinding, or right after grinding, using a walk-behind machine that we would get from the airport. So that's not gonna be a big deal. I shouldn't say it's not gonna be a big deal. We have to get the time to do it, because again, when you got people striping, they're not doing their other job, so, we'll do the best we can. I have to. So we'll get it. Mike, I'm sorry.
I know we still short-handed, but
Mhm.
I know we did approve hiring some more people.
Mm,
Did we ever get anybody?
Yes, we have. In fact, I was with Michael yesterday. We're actually hiring in several departments now. We're hiring in maintenance, as well as we're trying to hire. Where's Dexter? Trying to hire in public works. But you got to keep in mind the amount of dollars that we're looking to pay the employees that we're trying to hire. We're trying to hire excavator guys that's making $25, $35 an hour for, I'm not going to say it on television. So we are definitely looking to hire, and we are making some, we're doing okay. But we really need to look at our salaries that we have here in Iberia Parish for employees. Hasn't been updated since, I think, maybe 2012, something like that.
Councilman Landry, will you finish?
I'm good.
Councilman Trahan, a question for the President?
I have asked to get the numbers for the Orchard study
Okay.
from Donna, and I haven't received them yet.
The dollar amount?
The
Okay,
dollar
I'll get it
amount.
for you. I'll take care of
What
it.
it's gonna do for the study, and what it's gonna take us to catch us up.
Yeah, that's the part that we need to be concerned about, because if I don't know if y'all want to talk about stuff like this
No.
live, and I don't think we should, but
I think
I
Council's
think I'll
taking
get that
action.
number for you.
Council's taking action
Yeah.
already over the Archer study.
Right,
You've got
right,
money to do
right,
that.
All right,
Councilman Trahan, you finish? Hearing no other questions, Parish President,
thank you.
moving on to the consent agenda items for public hearing and adoption. Madam Clerk?
Minutes, regular meeting of April 13th, 2022. Summary number 63, introduced by legal counsel, a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a purchase and sale agreement by and between Iberia Parish Government, BNSF Railway Company, and any other agreements necessary to carry out the intent and purposes of said purchase and sale agreement, providing for the effective date thereof and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Note table from the April 13th, 2022 Iberia Parish Council meeting. Summary number 67, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution proclaiming the month of May 2022 as Mental Health Month in Iberia Parish. And summary number 68, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution accepting the resignation of Mr. Michael D. Lopresto as a member of the Acadiana Fairgrounds Commission, effective immediately.
Do you have a motion accepting the consent agenda items? Have a motion by Councilman Olivier, second by Councilman Michael Landry. Councilman Olivier on discussion? Councilman Michael Landry on discussion. At this time, members, are there any requests to remove agenda item from consent agenda? Hearing none, hearing no discussion. Roll call, members. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Hear no opposition. The ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to ordinances introduced for public hearing and adoption. Summary number 5182, introduced by Marcus Broussard of District 3. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance to amend and reenact portions of the compiled ordinances of Iberia Parish, Louisiana, relating to permits for the construction and placement of telecommunication towers and other similar structures, to provide minimum standards for the placement of such structures, to provide the payment of fees in connection with permit applications, to provide penalties for violations of said ordinances, to provide for the effective date thereof, and to otherwise provide with respect.
Do you have a motion? Have a motion by Councilman Broussard. Second by Councilman Landry, Michael Landry. Councilman Broussard on discussion. Councilman Broussard waives. Councilman Landry on discussion. Members, any discussion on the main motion? I do believe legal counsel does have You got the floor, Mr. Shealy.
Yeah, thank you. I'll try to be brief. I sent you an updated a copy of the summary, the ordinance to be adopted. Thank you for the cooperation of everyone, including Jacob from Permitting and Planning. Also sent this to, if you remember, they had a couple of gentlemen here when this came up last time. Provided a copy to them. They had a few suggestions, all of which I thought were reasonable. I accepted those, and so what you have before you is final version, and I'm satisfied with it, and
Good.
would ask that you pass it forward. At
All
least
right.
it'll give us something in the future when we have applications.
One more time, members, is there any questions on the main motion at this time? Hearing no discussion, I'll ask for a roll call. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hearing no opposition, the ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to resolutions introduced for public hearing and adoption. Summary number 69, introduced by Sewer District Number 1. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2022 Sewer District Number 1 Port of Iberia Fund budget in the amount of $1,500 to establish laboratory testing services line item in the current budget to fund said services through June 2022, all to be funded with a transfer from chemicals line item.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Paul Landry. Second by Councilman Olivier. Councilman Landry on discussion. Councilman Olivier. Members, main motion. Any discussion on the main motion? Hearing none. Roll call, members. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hear no opposition. The ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 70, introduced by the parish president. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2022 Public Building Maintenance Fund budget in the amount of $9,200 to provide for roof repairs at Jeanneret Veterans Number 1 Building, Jeanneret City Park, all to be funded from fund balance previous years.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Paul Landry, second by Councilman Olivier. Councilman Landry on discussion. Was it Councilman Olivier? Councilman Landry? Got some games over there, huh? Waived by Councilman Landry, Councilman Olivier. Waves. Members, any discussion on the main motion? Hearing none, roll call. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hearing no opposition, the ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 71, introduced by the parish president. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2022 parish-wide drainage fund budget in the amount of $404,757 to account for additional funds to be received from as a result of the 2021 mosquito control tax distribution, and further amending the 2022 mosquito control / drainage fund budget in the amount of $752,826 to provide for surplus distribution in accordance with sales tax proposition.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman Trahan. Councilman Brown on discussion. Councilman Trahan, discussion?
For discussion, I'd like for us to buy a new dozer with some of that money, so we can do some dozer work.
Councilman Trahan, I would say that's not germane at this point, but well taken, Councilman Trahan. Councilman Trahan yields back. Any discussion on the main motion, members? Hearing none. Roll call. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hear no opposition. The ayes have it, and the motion passes unanimously. Moving on to summary number 72, introduced by the parish president. Madam Clerk.
A resolution approving the request of the Iberia Parish Sheriff, increasing the daily prisoner per diem rate from $3.50 per Louisiana Revised Statute 13:5535 to $4 effective May 1st, 2022, and amending the 2022 Criminal Justice Facility and Royalty Fund budgets to account for the additional $25,000 needed to fund said increase for the remainder of fiscal year 2022.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Marty Trahan and a second by, is it Councilman Landry again? Councilman Trahan, discussion?
And did we get a okay that it could be spent like for, like when they take out the meals, the fuel, and the cost?
This is just for meals, it's limited, and the new cost was $3.98, right at $4, so.
Okay. But he had asked for a $4.50. Yeah, but I'm just, I wanna get an answer. Did we use for
I certainly,
transportation to get the meals to the people?
certainly wouldn't do it when you got, this one is dedicated only to meals.
Okay.
That would need to come out of another.
Councilman
pot or
Trahan, does that
another
answer your question?
I'm good.
Councilman Trahan yields back. Councilman Landry on discussion? Councilman Landry waves. Any discussion on the main motion, members? Hearing none, roll call. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hear no opposition, the ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 73, introduced by the parish president. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2022 Health Unit Maintenance Fund budget in the amount of $75,032 to remove the remaining appropriation for the social worker position funded through Iberia Medical Center, IMC, and terminating the cooperative endeavor agreement with IMC for said position, per the request of Dr. Stefanski, State of Louisiana Office of Public Health.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman Landry. Councilman Brown on discussion. Councilman Landry. Members, any discussion on the main motion? Hearing none, roll call members. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, hear no opposition. The ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 74, introduced by the parish president. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a contract for medical services at the Iberia Parish Criminal Justice Facility by and between Correct Health Iberia LLC, the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office, and Iberia Parish Government, and further amending the 2022 Health Unit Maintenance and Criminal Justice Facility Fund budgets in the amount of $84,156 to provide an additional appropriation for the jail medical contract effective May 1st, 2022.
I have a motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman James Trahan. Councilman Brown on discussion. Councilman Trahan. Members, any discussion on the main motion?
I have a question.
We have a question by Councilwoman Broussard.
Do we already have a contract with Correct Health for these services? Yes. So, my understanding is that they just want more money, and we're amending the contract?
Yeah.
That's an easy way to say it. Yes, do I understand it? Can I answer, or you got it?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, good.
I mean, why aren't they bound to the contract that we have and to provide the services that they are bound under the contract for the price that we're under contract with them? Why are we modifying the contract in midstream and giving them more money?
Okay. If I can, and if I make a mistake, Mike, go on and help me. What's going on right now, Natalie, the cost that when what they're paying, like their RNs, $25 an hour, those dollars have gotten up to like $75 an hour and up to hire RNs due to the pandemic and
I
things of that
understand that
nature.
they have an increased cost in what it's costing them to provide the RNs.
Okay.
What I don't understand is why is that our problem? I mean, we
Well,
have a
it's not- it's
contract
really
with
not our
them to
problem.
provide
No, it is our
services
problem.
Hold
for
on,
a
hold
certain
on.
amount of money.
Hold on. As far as they're concerned, it's not our problem because they're gonna drop the contract as soon as we say we're not doing this. So then you have a jail that have no service no medical service. So this is a.
So they just gonna breach their contract?
No, they have 30 days to get out of, like any contract that you write a contract where both parties can get out, right? When you
I
write-
don't, that's what I'm asking you. What
No,
is
I'm
our
just saying.
contract?
They have an out.
They have an out.
Absolutely.
So they have a 30-day out. I
Absolutely.
mean, that's the answer to the question then.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilwoman Broussard yields back. Anyone else on discussion? Hearing none, roll call members. Those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
And if I can, before you vote, I just want to say this.
Well,
We
it's
already
kinda-
voted.
Kinda late now, I mean.
Too late.
But go
Good,
ahead.
good.
I'll let you, go ahead. You sure? That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 75, introduced by, man, this guy's getting popular, Marcus Broussard of District 3. Madam Clerk.
A resolution requesting the Louisiana Delta Railroad to collaborate with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development in making safety improvements to the railroad crossing located along Louisiana 182, West Oak Spanish Trail, and their intersections at A, LA 88, Coteau Road, B, Airport Boulevard, and C, Northwest Bypass.
Do you have a motion? Have a motion by Councilman Broussard, second by Councilwoman Broussard. Councilman Broussard on discussion. Councilman Broussard waves, Councilwoman Broussard.
I'll wait.
Councilwoman Broussard waves. Any discussion on the main motion, members? We do by Councilman Landry.
What's the problem with them?
Councilman Broussard.
An illustration, there's not much of a turning lane on either side. Oh, I'm sorry, on the side that you take a right on to cross over the railroad track. So there's not a lot of room for the folks to, basically you pulling into gravel, you're still halfway off the road, as well as when you get to the railroad crossings and the crossings are down, bus drivers and whatnot, their behinds, I guess, for lack of a better word, is still on the highway. So one of the intersections in particular has lost upwards to 8 or 9 folks in the last 7 or 8 years, I think. I don't know the exact numbers, but that's one of the issues, or that is the issue.
So, I mean, that's just a question, that's just the intersection, is that part of our problem or a state problem to get them on?
Yeah, we're asking the state to go and review and advise and see if there's anything.
If I can. Typically, the way we do it, Mark, is if you would add to this here, that you would get the administration to write letters to our delegation and to the Louisiana Department of Transportation requesting this, because the way this one here is written is just asking for
It's in the
collaboration between.
No, it's in the full resolution.
It is, but it isn't on here. So, so you guys would want me to do this? You would want me to write letters to the our delegation?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because the way I was reading it, and I read through the other part, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
have the
part
other
of
part.
the state and part of the railroad.
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll take care of that.
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Landry, that answers your question. Councilman Landry yields back. Any other discussion on the main motion, members? Hearing none, roll call. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing no opposition, the ayes have it, and the motion carries unanimously. Brian must not be here tonight, huh? I have a motion by Councilman Brown to adjourn, and a second by Councilman Landry. Councilman Brown waves, Councilman Landry waves. Roll call, members. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Hearing no, Michael Landry. Hearing no opposition, that motion passes. We are now adjourned.